Hi everybody, I'm Christian. It's coffee this time around. Welcome to Pico-8 here, welcome to Lazy Devs. I did some things. So we are finishing this stuff up. One of the things that was written down here was level balancing, and not live, but in between the episodes, I actually did some changes. I already discussed some of the changes with you. I want to step you through real quick through some of the new things that we have here. Obviously no changes here, no changes here, no changes here. Here's a little thing here in the upper cups, so to speak. I removed one brick. Previously there were 2 bricks, so you had to get your bowl twice in each of these. Now it's just 1, and I replayed the level, and indeed I was in a position where it took ages to get in there. So I guess in my first playtesting sessions, it seemed like I was just lucky, and I just got my bowl like a lot of times up there. But now I kind of like see, okay, it's a high variance kind of situation. Sometimes you get locked out. So having 1 brick up there makes it a little bit easier. Here's something, I didn't want to change this too much, but now there's 2 exploding bricks in the middle. So, you won't hit them on your first try. But if you hit the center twice, basically the entire thing explodes. So it's kind of like an easy way to get all the bricks in there. Oops. Yeah, here I did a lot of changes in here. So in the middle part, on the sides, where you can get your ball in, it used to be that both of these were hardened blocks. Now just the upper ones are just the lower ones are hardened. And also I put this little gap in the middle. So if you get your ball in the shaft or in the tunnel inside, in the center, the ball can actually get out in the top direction and cause some mayhem there. So it seems like you're not just like, shuffling your ball between the 2 sides, but there's an opportunity to get your ball into like the juicy area where all the bricks are. Here, the side walls, they used to be hardened bricks, but I turned them into normal bricks now because it seemed for me like, for me personally, it took ages just to get them down. And if they disappear, the gameplay doesn't really change that much because there's still the wall of the screen afterwards. So it's like they're almost pointless. The bricks on the bottom and top, they change a lot. Like if they disappear, like the whole geometry of the level changes. But now like these side bricks didn't do too much. I was thinking about putting a hole in the bottom row because I got some feedback that it was a bit too close to the pedal, but I decided against it because I tried it with a hole and it was just very easy to shoot your ball in there and it would just destroy the whole entire level. So I feel like it's kind of like nice to have like a certain period of time where you have to deal with this very stressful situation, and then once the hardened bricks are removed, then you get into a more mellow situation. I did a lot of iteration on this one. I actually did a lot of tests with this. So I got like obviously those exploding bricks to get, so it's easier to clear out the center part and also open up the upper part a little bit more. So if you get your ball into the tunnel in the middle, which is difficult to pull off, but if you actually manage to get it in there, it will actually allow you to do a lot of things. It will actually make the level a lot easier. And you can see that I also replaced some of the indestructible bricks with hardened bricks. So, if the ball is bouncing around a lot of times, you will eventually get through. I did some changes. It might not look as nice anymore. I'm thinking maybe changing some stuff in here. But basically, there used to be exploding bricks on the top part. I moved them down closer. So once you get through the hardened bricks, the level opens up a lot faster. So you don't feel like you're trapped for so long anymore. And also you will trigger like 2 power-ups at the same time every time one of those exploding bricks explodes. So there's opportunity for huge wins. And I didn't do any changes in here because I think this level is perfect the way it is. Cool. So these are changes for the levels. Now I wanted to do something. Oh, let's see. That's also done. So now there's a couple of things. I wanted to do a sudden death. I want to make the Mega Ball more useful, actually really useful, like overpowered useful. And well, I guess the level feedback is also the level feedback is also gone basically. Yeah, so it's just these things. The mega ball is useful. It's sometimes, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm gonna deal with this. I tried to figure out maybe like lowering the threshold for redirecting the ball, but the threshold actually is already so low that it's so easy to trigger it. Like it's not impossible mathematically to make it easier, just by lowering some thresholds. So the only way to make it easier to redirect the ball is actually to add what's called a coyote time. You sometimes have this in platformer jump and run type of games where if you walk off a cliff, the game gives you 1 frame or some additional frames, like leeway, to still be able to press the jump, even though you technically you should be falling and you should not be able to press the jump. So you can like still reacts to jump presses a couple of frames after you walked off the cliff, to kind of like a coyote, like in Roadrunner. So it's more lenient on the inputs there. So that would be only way for kind of like if after the ball hits the paddle, you still have like a couple of frames to maybe press a button to redirect the ball, but it does. Because this can also backfire, you know. This I already sometimes having the problems that I rush in to redirect the ball, and it will make the ball tends to make the ball flatter always. So if I add coyote time, I feel like this would lead basically make it impossible almost to make the ball not be flat all the time. So maybe I would just add the coyote time for the opposite direction. It's difficult. I don't have too many tokens. I'm not sure if I'm gonna address it. Today I wanted to do sudden death though. I think this is like a very useful and important feature. There's a lot of variables here. There's some yeah, okay, let's put it just like in here. So the way I wanted to implement this, let's say if there's just one, let's just start with 1 brick, and then let's see if we can make it with multiple bricks. So if there's just 1 brick left, I want the game to pick a brick, and that brick will become the sudden death brick, and then also a counter starts, and when the counter goes down to 0, the brick should explode as if it was an exploding brick. And if during the counter time you hit the brick, you get a lot of points for this. So this will kind of like make the level end no matter what after a certain amount of time. So we're gonna call SD. We can call SD brick. That's gonna be nil. And we're gonna also need a timer. That's going to be 0, right? Again, take a look at those tokens. Say, oh, I'm not even sure if I will be able to do this. So where are we going to put this? Let's put it in here, new collision, or let's put it in here. No, why not? So function check SD, just a check for the sudden death, just to see if there's a sudden death happening. And then just underneath, even though it's an update function, I'm gonna put all the sudden death together. Function update SD, like this, right? So here we're going to loop through, or we're going to see how many bricks are left, and if there's if there's 1 brick left, we're going to trigger the. Oh yeah, and of course yes. Trigger SD. We're going to trigger the SD if we're going to find that there is an SD. Good. So first the check SD, let's go for the check ID. So we're gonna have to see where are we actually when we're checking for the if the game is over. We're gonna use the same function basically. Are we doing this here? No, I think we're doing it in update function. And update function, game over, game update game. It's all the way down here, right? Yeah. So somewhere here we're checking. Check explosions. Yeah, level finished is the thing that we're looking for. Oh, we're just checking for the number of bricks. No, we're actually looping through all of the bricks. Yeah, because the bricks are turned invisible. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna actually copy this stuff. See, maybe we're not gonna actually do the check SD, but instead what we're gonna do here is we're gonna update this function, this this level over. Where is it? Oh man, level finished. There we go. Here we're just gonna count the bricks. So we're gonna go local C like for count. So if a bricks v is true and the bricks and if the bricks is not indestructible, then, and instead of returning false, we're just going to count the bricks. We're going to go like C plus equals 1, right? Oops. Plus equals 1, right? And we're going to start with 0. And so here we're going to go if C. Now maybe we're gonna add an SD threshold. What is this? So basically, if we're gonna reach 1, we're gonna start the sudden death. Maybe you're gonna put the threshold later on up, but for now we just want to trigger it when it reaches 1. Oh god. Level over. No, not level over. There's a lot going on here. Level finished. That's what we're doing. Yeah, so if C. So if C equals 0. Return true, like this, right? So if it's not, if we still have some bricks left, we're gonna see if C is smaller or equals SD thresh, then trigger SD. Yeah. And of course, if SD brick equals nil. So if there is no SD brick currently set and we are underneath the threshold, then we're gonna trigger SD. Otherwise, we're gonna return false. Like this. We could make it even go a little bit faster. For example, here we could say, like, if we're already above the sudden death threshold, we're not going to bother. So we're going to go if, not going to bother looking any further. So if C is greater than SD threshold, then whatever, then just end it right there. Yeah. Return true. False, then the level's not over. And here I'm gonna, again, even though it's apparently not, I was misinformed. I thought this would save tokens, but apparently doesn't. But I'm still gonna put it like in this inline statement, so we have like this nice and compact thing. Okay, so we're counting the bricks, and if we're already counted more than the threshold of the sudden death, then we're sure that the level is not finished yet. I just realized something. I realized that dang, we actually have to do it separately, because the thing is, the level finish function is triggered whenever we blast a brick, every time. But the sudden death is something I want to trigger when we hit the pad. And the reason for this is because if the ball is flying and it's about to hit a bunch of bricks, and you know they're the last bricks, let's say it's going to hit 2 bricks, like it bounces off the 1 brick and will hit the next brick, right? I don't want the sudden death to be triggered when it hits the first brick and it's about to hit the second brick, because then it's like 3 points. That's again, it seems to be going against this idea of sudden death. It should be something like, okay, the level is taking long, so we're gonna like trigger this entire sequence, and it's not something that should be like triggered automatically every time you finish the level. So yeah, so I think we're gonna actually now undo everything. I will copy this and I will put it down there. Watch those tokens disappear. So I will actually, this will be a separate function, and this will be called check SD. And this we will revert to this previous status. I'm sorry, baby. Drink the wine. Okay, so let's this. This is gonna be return false. And if c equals 0, return true. That's not interesting. It's not interesting. Oh, look at those tokens. Oh no, it's gonna be, oh, we're gonna have to probably do like a token removal pass. Let's go down there and see if there's a way to make, like, okay, so for example, this, we don't need this. We don't need the false in here. This we don't need anymore. Well, this we don't need anymore. Yeah, so we can save some things. Oh yeah, we can also save ourselves all this stuff if the sudden death brick is already set. So we're gonna go if SD brick equals nil, we'll just return. It's not equals nil, then return. So this way, this statement actually is a lot more viable, like this. Okay. Okay, so let's put this check SD. And the update. So where are we hitting the pad? Let's see. I think there's a new collision tab, right? Collide, yeah. Change angle. Yeah, there it is, right? Where are we actually? Where are other things happening that are important for this kind of stuff? So I guess here. Yeah, let's put it just here, whatever, check SD. And we're gonna, maybe if this is behaving weirdly, we're gonna change it. Okay, so what are we going to do when we're gonna check SD? Well, we are trigger SD. I mean, we are going to loop through the bricks, and if we're going to find a true brick, so so this is a bit of a problem, because what if there's multiple bricks? Are we always going to trigger the same brick? And also, yeah, okay, so we need like the easiest version of this that we can, because we're very low on the tokens. So I'm just gonna go do, if we're gonna find a brick, then we're gonna go SD brick equals this brick. Then we're gonna show a sash, right? Sash. Oh, that should be in juicy stuff. Sash. Yeah, show sash. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Oh god, no, we're gonna be running out of tokens, so we're gonna probably do like an episode of us saving some tokens. But I want to continue programming this so we know how many tokens we need to save. Okay, so we're gonna show a sash. This is gonna be the text. We're gonna call it sudden death, and the color is gonna be white. I think we have a power up white, but I mean, we could also do it a gray one. That would be kind of funny. Gray and red or something. I mean, it's a little bit similar to, I guess, the reduce, but yeah, let's go with the gray. Let's 5 and maybe this 5 and 9. Let's try 5 of 9. Okay, and so that's it. And now the update. Oh yeah, and of course we also have to restart the timer. So this is the timer, SD timer. Now what's going to be the timer? How many frames? We have to figure this out. So let's say equals 60 frames per second times, let's go 15 seconds. That seems a long time. So that's gonna be 900. Yeah, so we're gonna go if SD brick is not nil, then SD timer minus equals 1. If SD timer is smaller than 1, then, and this is now where we would explode the brick. So we're gonna go something like, first the SD brick will be reset to nil. And we're gonna make it explode. How do we explode brick? So I think it's here, right? I think it's Z. Let me see what happens when we hit an exploding brick. Hit brick, there we go. Explosion brick, there we go. If we hit an exploding brick, we're gonna go, yeah, so the type will be turned to ZZ. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay. Whew. It's not much. I'm kind of amazed that we made it so far. So let's put the update SD somewhere where it's meaningful. Let's put it in the update function here, in a game update function actually. So yeah. Yeah, let's put it before the level is finished and before it checks explosions. Like so. There's a couple things I want to be still dealing with. One is like if your go game over, I want to like reset the timer perhaps. I don't want the timer to continue going while you watch the game over screen or a game over explosion, because then you would get like this weird situation where you maybe finished a level when you went over a game over. So I don't want to have like this ambiguity. Oh yeah, and of course when you hit the brick, you should get the sudden death brick. You should get a lot of points. So now what we're gonna do is like we're gonna treat this sudden death brick as as if it was an exploding brick. So here, right? Or SD brick or B equals SD brick, like this. And we're gonna put this as the top if statement. Oops. So this gets checked first. And then this will be else if. Oh, dang! What is happening here? Oh, so else if. There we go. Yeah, that's good. And then making sure this if statement gets closed properly. Like this, right? Good. So yeah, if we're gonna hit here. So first we know that the correct thing is happening, and then we're gonna go we're gonna ask for this again. If this equals SD brick, then or we are already over tokens, but yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to ask for this in here. What does the combo mean? Not sure. Well, what does the combo mean? Oh yeah, that means that we are actually that we didn't explode it, but we actually hit it. So the question is like, okay, there's an exploding brick, sudden death brick, and it gets hit by an explosion. Does that still count as sudden death? I'd say no, because you're not getting the points for this usually. So then we're gonna just that would be probably an easy way to do this. So we're gonna go if B equals SD brick else. Actually, yeah, wait a minute. So if the sudden death bricks gets accidentally destroyed, we want to absolutely remove it. So we're gonna go like this. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that will count, whatever. It will just count. So if it's the SD brick, otherwise if it's a combo, or actually maybe not otherwise. Yeah, like something like this. Something like this. We need to something like this, yeah. So how many points are we getting? So it's 1 here. How about we're gonna get 10 points for this? It's it's a random number. And then if it's combo, we're boosting the chain. So again, 200. Let's see if you're saving anything. 200. Oh, we're not saving anything. God damn it. All right, so good. So we cannot actually run this program now. We're over the token limit. No. So this is welcome to Pico-8, where these things kind of happen. So I'm gonna end it here. And what we're gonna do in the next episode is we're gonna actually go through the code and try to save some tokens so we can actually run this thing again. It's gonna be exciting. Oh, dang. So yeah, I hope you see us next time around where we can start debugging this thing and making sure that everything works here perfectly. See you next time around, guys. Bye-bye.